I met Lawrence during the war, and of course I knew him best later on in the last 4 years of his life, from 26 to 30. He was perfectly extraordinary as a human being. He was extremely fascinating.
Born neath the creaking timbers of a northern mining town, where the dust of revolution hung thick upon the ground, where the pickaxe and the shovel struck relentless in the dark, a man's dreams were forged at the cold pit front, never to see the light of day.
He was always stimulating, a little alarming to be with. I mean, because he was very fond of my first wife, and we got on very well.
Tough times bred tough men, and his father, he was one, as he coughed the tales of the coal dust from the bottom of his lungs. And he drank into the evening there in the old sun inn, with a sickly child at a mother's breast. I'll keep you safe from becoming your father's son. And just like times before, and no doubt the times to come, true visionaries are reviled by those that just don't understand, and they're crucified on every makeshift cross that they find to hand, ground out of the iron chains that keep them prisoner in the fear of their narrow minds.
It was always a pleasure to be with him and to hear his comments on things, his reactions to nature and so on. Were always very, very fascinating.
Well, the green pastures of old England, they washed against the town, as he watched the dirt and grime pollute to rot the very ground, where men beat weary footsteps between pit and pub and bed. He lay at night listening to the screams that now echoed their poetic visions, contradicting in his head. Well, your homeland couldn't hold you, and the pit was not your fate, and in Byron bounds of passion you eloped out across the world, for you knew there was some meaning to those primal ancient rhymes that spilled out across pages, painted vivid in your mind. And just like times before, and no doubt times to come, true visionaries are reviled by those that just don't understand, and they're crucified on every makeshift cross that they find to hand, ground out of the iron chains that keep them prisoner in the fear of their narrow minds.
He had a great store of knowledge. He didn't really like to say so, but he did. He was very well read. Of course, one of the things I often speculate, what on earth would have happened if he lived on to a reasonable age?
Just like times before, and no doubt times to come, true visionaries are reviled by those that just don't understand, and they're crucified on any makeshift cross that they find to hand, ground out of the iron chains that keep them prisoner in the fear of their narrow minds.
But it's amazing to think of all this having been produced by this man who died at 44 and was sick for a great deal of the time.